There was a story about this lady. She was 30 years old, y'all. Her 13-year-old son found her dead. He walks into the room. She wasn't being responsive. Her 5-year-old daughter slept in a bed with her. But this is just the introduction here. Let's go back in the time. Let's roll it back a little bit.
It was about 4 a.m. in the morning. She was screaming, "Help me, help me, help me." The little boy gets up because she's calling his name. So a kid is going to get up if he hears his mom calling his name. So he got up, walked towards her room, and he was stopped and was told not to go in the room. His mom was fine. His mom was having a nightmare. So he turned around, went back in his room, didn't think nothing of it, and then she's dead. That's the craziest crap I've ever heard in my life. It's like, why did none of the adults help her? Even if you didn't want her son to see it. Why didn't why didn't you care enough about her to help her or see what the hell was going on?
So let me get this straight. At 4 a.m. in the morning, this girl's son heard her screaming, "Help me, help me," as he walks through that hallway towards the door. The roommate comes out of nowhere and said, "She's fine. She's just having a bad dream. Go back to bed." He turns around. He goes back into the room. Now, I'm wondering, how was he feeling in that particular moment when he went back to that room? As if he was worried? He just didn't think nothing of it? He just went back into that room and he went to sleep?
I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe a little bit of both. Maybe he was like, okay, well, they said she's fine. Maybe she's having a nightmare. Let me just go back to bed. So I don't know what he was thinking.
Right. So when he was trying to wake her up...
She was cold to the touch.
Wow.
And there was blood coming out of her nose and her mouth.
And where was his 5-year-old sister? Was she waking her up too?
The sister had already climbed out of the bed because the sister is younger than him. So you know, like, little kids only sleep to a certain amount of time.
Can you imagine trying to wake somebody up, like your mother, your brother, your sister, your wife, anybody? Can you imagine trying to wake them up and they don't wake up? I mean, it depends if you have health problems or health issues, or if you're in your 60s or in your 70s. No offense to people that are in their 60s and 70s, because there's some that don't have health problems. That's because they stayed in shape, they worked out, they eat properly, they don't eat all that crazy food that they used to eat. So now they're more like just like taking their time with life as the days go by. But in this case here, she's 30 years old. It just don't add up. And the reason why I say it doesn't add up, because, okay, she was screaming help late at night, said, oh, she was just having a bad dream. Just seems like they trying to rule it as a suicide.
He was up, the sister was up, the other adults in the house was up. The only person that was not up was his mother. And they said, go wake her up. So that's what he did. And when he woke her up, she was cold to the touch. He said, I can't get her up. What do you mean you can't get her up? That's when 911 was called, and I don't know if they tried to bring her back or what. But if she was already cold to touch, she was already gone. It was like 12 p.m. It was a Saturday, December 1st. They just said, go wake your mama up. She's been asleep long enough.
Like, was she laying on her back, or was she laying on her side, like she was asleep normal, or?
That I don't know.
We like, wait a minute, well, we don't know if she has some type of history of health problems or a history of health problems in the family. It's like, we don't know. But it just seems to me that it looks like, it's like, okay, she was screaming in the middle of the night as if she had a bad dream. Then all of a sudden she don't wake up in the morning. I mean, come on. Let's think about this shit, y'all. Let's be logical about this situation. For somebody to walk out and say, oh, she was just having a bad dream, and then all of a sudden the next day in the morning she's dead. Her 13-year-old son tries to wake her up.
We don't know if he was scared of these people. We don't know what they actually said to him. Maybe he's not telling the whole story. Because people have a way, especially adults have a way of frightening children.
manipulating
like,
them and
you gotta
frightening
get in that
them.
room and do what I tell you to do. You know, maybe he did try to go past, and they said, boy, if you don't go back in that room like we tell you to, it's gonna be a problem. So he's like, fuck it, you know.
I just want to know
boy.
who was the person that told him that his mother was just having a bad dream.
I think it was one of the adults in the house, though. Because I think now, looking back on it, he probably wished, damn, maybe I should have went. Maybe I should have just not listened. But if somebody's saying, I'm going to do this to you if you don't listen, or threatening you, and it's not your mama, that ain't you in your mama's house, it's like, okay, I got to do what they say.
The son has his own room. The mother and the daughter sleeps in a separate room. It's like basically she was living there with these people temporary or something.
Yeah, basically.
And that temporary living over there turns into eternal because this is where she died.
Right.
She was getting a check every month, and the money that she was getting was canceled by the roommate. Roommate stated that she was deceased, so they stopped the money. And here it is, if she died on the 1st, that check should have already been here on the 30th of November.
The Social Security checks come first of the month. Now it's like, say, the first would have fell on a Monday, she would have got it on a Monday, you know, but since it fell December 1st, Saturday, she would have got it on the 30th, which would have been the Friday before the 1st. It does not make sense what happened to that check. I'm sure Nikki got hers. There's no way she could have possibly spent all that money. She ends up dead the next day. We're not stupid.
And all of a sudden, the money gets canceled.
If my daughter dies, God forbid, I'm going to use the money she gets for the check to bury her, pay for the autopsy, whatever I have to do, nice burial. And then I would call them and say, oh, she died. Not you call them and cancel it and you know you have to plan a memorial service. That doesn't make sense.
Right.
Not to me. But what do I know?